What's up, YouTube? This is Two Raw 4 TV. So Milwaukee Bucks came back from a double-digit deficit against the Miami Heat to pull off a 120 to 119 victory off a Drew Holiday game winner, and they improved to 38 and 25 on the year. And that's not the typical strong record that the Milwaukee Bucks usually have, but when you consider the injuries that decimated this team earlier on this year, when you consider the outbreak that affected every team, but it did affect Milwaukee as well. Um, they are in a good position. You know what I'm saying? I think when you look at it from a historical perspective, to have a really good shot at winning a title, you really want to be in the top three in the conference. You don't always have to have the best record. It helps, but historically, it helps to be in the top three. Once you get out of the top three, your odds of winning a title drop dramatically. There have only been two teams below third seed that have won a championship. That being the 1969 Boston Celtics, who were the fourth seed, and the 1995 Houston Rockets, who were the sixth seed. Um, I think the Bucks are in a good position. All right, and I'm not saying they're going to win a championship, but comes down, as the season comes down to the wire, you start seeing certain realities. Um, this is why it's always smart to let a season play out, and sometimes it's not. You can't always look at these players, right? Like you look at a roster in a trade and you think, man, ain't no way in the hell this team's gonna lose, right? But there's this such thing as chemistry. There's this such thing as uh, injury problems. Sometimes the coach doesn't utilize the players that he have, you know what I'm saying, to the best of their abilities. Um, Sometimes these players have their own funky little stupid issues, like James Harden did. So it's not as easy as a video game, you know what I'm saying, like playing 2K. But the Bucks are a great team, and despite the fact that they have a mediocre coach in Mike Budenholzer, I really strongly believe if they had a great coach, this team would be even better. They probably have 10 extra victories than they do right now if they had a great coach. But this team, I think is going to do. I think this team is going to really finish this season out strong. I hope it works out as far as with Tyree Evans is concerned. All right. I think a lot of people who are younger may not remember Tyreek Evans. This is a guy that won the Rookie of the Year several years ago. I think it was 2009, 2010. He won Rookie of the Year. He was one of the few players in the history of the NBA as a rookie to put up 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. I think he's one of only like 5 or 6 players to do that as a rookie. Um, he's a great shot creator. That's something that the Bucks could utilize most definitely as a guy coming off the bench. I hope it works out for him. I hope that he does get signed with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks will get Brook Lopez back. Look, is Brook Lopez this great all-star player? No. We gotta remember though. Remember though, in his prime with the then new Jersey Nets, Brook Lopez was a guy that what I'm saying will get you 20 points and 9 rebounds per contest, and he is, if I'm not mistaken, still the all-time leading scorer for the Brooklyn Nets. So let's not act like Brook Lopez is this chopped liver guy. Now, at this stage of his career, he's not the same player, but what Brook Lopez brings is a presence, inside presence. If you notice, in a lot of these games, the Milwaukee Bucks interior defense is suffering. A lot of guys, a lot of teams, players can just, you know, penetrate at ease, and a lot of it is because of the fact, you don't have a guy like Brook Lopez out there. He's a legitimate 7 footer. He's an outside threat. He's not a huge shot blocker, but he's a shot deterrent. and they do miss his services. And ultimately, you know what I'm saying, if Pat Connaughton, when he comes back, that'll be a big shot in the arm. And is Pat Connaughton this all-star player? No, he's not. You know, he's not an all-star level player. But if you don't watch the Milwaukee Bucks frequently, or if you don't pay attention to them, or you didn't really pay attention to that run per se they had last year, then you won't really understand the importance of a Pat Connaughton. Pat Connaughton is a guy that gets a lot of he gives the Bucks an edge in a lot of 50-50 situations, 50-50 balls, you know, uh, rebounds. Um, he's very athletic. He's a 41% three-point shooter this year. High basketball IQ. These are certain things that you can't always teach with everybody, but as far as thinking the game and how you approach the game. And I would rather have a guy like Pat Connaughton, who may not be the most talented player out there, but thinks the game on a high level, rather than a Russell Westbrook who has all these physical gifts, uh, puts up brilliant numbers, but doesn't think the game on a high level. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from a guy that's been a Russ fan. So I think when you add these pieces to the team, you put Brooke Lopez back in the starting lineup, then you can have Bobby Portis come off the bench more as an energy guy. Plus, you can bring up Tyreek Evans. You know, then hey, let's say there's a guy that we're forgetting about. Maybe he for once plays well with them. During the playoffs, Wesley Matthews. We're forgetting about him. So at the end of the day, when I look at a championship team, I'm not looking at the stars. I'm looking at the pieces that you add to the team. And I think the Bucks have put together a team, if healthy, can win it again. And if you look at how more competitive the Eastern Conference is, and if the Milwaukee Bucks can win a championship, to me, Giannis Antetokounmpo unequivocally becomes a top 10 all-time player. He may not have the 6 championships Michael Jordan had. He may not have the 4 MVPs Wilt Chamberlain had. But when you look at what he's been able to accomplish in the last 3 to 4 years, how far his game has grown, how much he's matured from the supposedly unstoppable and impenetrable wall that's supposed to contain him, and he proved last night that shit doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. It's not a surefire way to stop him. So anyway, that's how I feel about Milwaukee Bucks and their chances this year. Tell me what you guys think.